Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Summit 2 by G2A.com. In the Europe division, we have made it. We are on day number 13 of games, and we are now in the final matchup, our 6th best of one for the day. We weren't sure or not if this game was going to happen. It's going to happen, all right. Yeah. It's going to be Navi. What are you looking at? I'm looking at my preview. I'm pretty like the shiny number 2. That's I added that.
No, I'm going there, checking out my ghost mode. I didn't
sure you look pretty good. Oh, yeah, that's right. Your shirt.
You know, if I'm off to the side, it's less noticeable. But
just hide by the green there.
Yeah, I blend in normally.
You do blend in pretty nice, but let's say if we do something like this, like what if there's a snowstorm? Whoa, it's so damn cold in the BTS house, guys.
I'm pulling out the layers.
Get that jacket on. Dag nabbit.
Good thing Twitch give us these jackets. Did we get our new Twitch jackets yet? I heard rumor they were sending us some new Twitch jackets.
Maybe, I don't know. That's materialistic things, gods. We don't care about that too much. We got Big Dota
Have you
underway.
felt how comfy these Twitch jackets are? Like this is like some good high quality.
This one's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm not convinced yet.
Wait till they get here.
Whatever. Anyways, regardless, I'm looking forward to it, actually, to be honest with you. But we'll get underway. This is supposed to be the big one of the day, the biggest match. A matchup now between Navi taking on Team Tinker. Now, it was a bit in jeopardy as far as happening. Now, you know, Team Tinker, but Navi as well, both came off of a recent play streak there for Star Ladder. Probably went out, had a good time, had a lot of Red Bull and juice, whatever these kids drink these days, and
ate a lot of Brussels sprouts.
They're feeling a bit fatigued.
Kale, yeah.
We saw a pretty questionable performance from Team Tinker earlier, which ended up causing them a loss to a very underfavored Compass Gaming squad. So a lot of people did wear a lot of rares based on that game alone, and now bouncing back with 2 stand-ins to fill in for both EGM and the other was Koikfa. Are not going to be a part of it. So now they have Bangfish, who is pretty much a regular Dota mercenary. This guy's been subbing in all regions, all play. I've seen him on Root Gaming for America. We've seen him on Zephyr for Korea. Here he is now working with Team Tinker. This guy's all over the place.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he pulls out and how this affects. I mean, obviously Tinker. I mean, we talk about this being the big match for today, but playing with 2 stand-ins really makes this match a much bigger anomaly as far as what to expect, what's going to happen. I wouldn't count Tinker out based on the 2 stand-ins. If you can outdraft your opponents or just get some really good early game, you can pull away victory still. So I don't know. I think definitely you want to play around your regular members. So put Pycat and Sing Sing on more high impact heroes.
Yeah.
As opposed to maybe a normal game where you put a lot more emphasis on Koikba. I think in a game like this with the stand-ins, you're going to say, look, we're going to make sure we got Sing Sing on something like a Zemba Spirit or whatever it may be. Get Pycat on a good high impact carry to help pull their weight, I guess.
And I think they have pretty good chemistry already with someone like Bangfish. I mean, for each of the times I've tuned into Sing Sing's stream, he's been playing alongside him for quite a while, so they know how they complement each other very nicely. I'm pretty much a big fan of Bangfish's Nature's Prophet, which we could still see very much this game if he decides to pull it on out, but they still have a lot of favoritism towards these top priority picks. They don't need to go for the early ban on Brewmasters. They have snagged it up for themselves. And Jakiro, another grab once again for them, could still be utilized in either the offlane core kind of a position or always can work nicely as a support if you need to zone back that Tide Hunter even better, given that they won't have the benefit from grabbing Skywrath. And there is that bit of that Bulba knowledge bomb he brought before. They also ban out the Witch Doctor because he just hates when Brewmaster has to go against that pesky cask stun with his 3-bear split.
Oh, we get the Havos Gyro though. This is your trademark Navi. Yeah, this is quality stuff. I like the Earthshaker pick in response to Tide. I mean, Earthshaker is a hero who should never really get caught up by a Ravage, and because of the range of Fissure, you can always fissure off some key heroes. You generally don't want to fissure the Tide. It's the other heroes who are going to be in the fight around the Tide who are dishing the Gyrocopter, basically. So if Tide goes in with a big Ravage and Gyrocopter's trying to get his flak damage off, you fissure him.
10 seconds
just slow down his damage output from afar. It can really go a long way. can often buy time for a
5
Brewmaster to get his
seconds
ultimate off
remaining.
if he gets hidden a Ravage. Like it was the grand finals of Secret BG
Reserve
where there was the
time.
Brewmaster S4 who just kept struggling to get off his ultimate against the Tide Ravages. So
Yeah.
that's where Earthshaker can make the difference, having that counter initiation.
They need him. He's the combo breaker king with the jams to follow it on up. As hefty range works out on all high-profile teams, especially Secret, man. They love to play that hero in the hands of Big Daddy, and well, they're going to be repped up right here, pretty formidable. And with the gyrocopter now coming out in compliments to another signature, FNG, who loves playing Treon Protector, picks it up notoriously all the time. I'm curious to see how Vanscore is going to consider following it on up. It's something he's done in the past, but a Rubik could still be a potential option as far as a secondary support. Getting a hold of the Brewmaster split isn't the most toughest thing, I guess, is to say. Ice Path is an instant cast on Rubik, which is nice.
Yep.
Earthshaker, you can get Fissure, which can work nicely, so there's a lot of potent potential steals
Game for a Rubik.
in the pool, so it's something, but it's going to be the pick on Team Tinker.
Yeah,
however.
normally I think like Rubik Treant maybe not enough like damage output, but you've got a gyro in the tri lane, so Rocket Barrage kind of brings the damage if you need to get the kills there. So if they want damage output from the support, Skywrath would have been ideal, but he's banned out long ago, so maybe like a Vengeful Spirit comes out. We've seen a lot of Bane from a lot of teams as of late, so Bane not a bad option here as well.
Yeah. Bane
Silence Silence is good against. He's really good against the Earthshaker Brewmaster, but would have to maybe struggle as far as laning setup goes. If you're Navi
Navi's
then.
turn to pick.
All right, so a Vengeful Spirit going to be a grab here from Team Tinker for their secondary support. So
Okay.
this is leaving me to believe Jakiro is going to be ran as a core again.
I don't think we
maybe
see
an
Earthshaker
offlane
core.
spot. Sing Sing played it last time.
Yeah, we don't want to repeat of that.
Yeah, that was different. We might see if it's going to be put into other hands, not to take down a notch from Sing Sing. You know, could be personal fatigue or
maybe
whatnot.
he's
But
maybe
it
he's
just maybe
after
not most
to redeem
comfortable.
himself. Like he has that
Yeah,
motivation
that's
to
true.
like play the
Yeah.
best Jakiro he's ever played. because of
5 seconds
I'm ready to
that
make it
lousy
happen.
game.
But
But
we'll see. It didn't fare too well in their dual lane matchup on the bottom, but they could change
Reserve
things up very
time.
quickly and put them elsewhere.
There's
Well,
the Rubik. You called it.
yeah, I'm feeling pretty good,
Dire
guys, about
team
that one. That's
ban.
right. Rubik is indeed going to be grabbed. It also denies, of course, Team Tinker from potentially grabbing it. If they didn't already secure the secondary support, it could have been a reasonable grab for Tinker, you know, given the Tidehunters on the other team. But outside of that, it just works so much better on Navi's side, and you know, I'm not too
10
surprised to see it
seconds
pop up here. And
remaining.
now they have reasonable setup, putting him side by side with Gyrocopter. He could be all over
5
the place looking
seconds
for some
remaining.
early aggression here. And now we have to see how Team Tinker want to
Reserve time.
finalize their draft. I mean, it could still be Jakiro in the off lane, but I don't think he'll fare too well against this kind of a lineup.
I think it could well be dual lanes, like an Earthshaker
Yeah.
Jakiro in the off lane, then you want a Venge plus Pycat hero for safe lane, which is
Navi's
Lycan's still in
turn
the
to
pool.
ban.
I don't think you would necessarily want a Lycan against the Treant Protector though.
I mean, Lycan, I'd only see if maybe they want to add a little more synergy to the minus armor. They could get it for the medallion use as it is. Weaver's still in there. It can
Yeah.
be pretty pesky and elusive, especially
10
going against a
seconds
gyrocopter.
remaining.
You want someone who can kind of dive in and dive out.
Clink's still available, which has
5
become pretty
seconds
popular. I'd say
remaining.
Weaver, Clinks are both looking pretty good. Ooh,
Yeah.
Terrorblade, actually forgot about him.
Dire team
A lot of teams
pick.
are forgetting about him.
I know, but I think it's for the better, just from
Yeah.
based on recent performance. I think people are starting to understand how a Terrorblade works. I mean, his recent nerfs certainly don't help, but by this point, teams are like, okay, the game plan's pretty much there. We know what Terrorblade is. We know what he does. We know what he can do, and we know where he falls short. And usually it's like early game aggression, and you'll see people start pulling out aggressive tri-lanes where then Terrorblade's not getting anything whatsoever, and he's forced to like double
10
back into the
seconds
jungle. I've seen
remaining.
other teams try to run him in the mid lane, and that was a bit of a disaster. And
5 seconds
I think he still
remaining.
just has a weird home, and for some teams where they still might pick him up, I think that they're gonna, you know,
Navi's
not pick him as
turn
much.
to pick.
But here we go, Slark.
Yeah.
We're counting on some sort of elusive core. I guess Slark is slippery
Yeah.
enough to get the job done, and
It's a good high impact hero for Pycat to probably
Yeah.
be. I assume it's going to be Pycat. This is his kind of hero, and he can kind of just take control of the game once he gets his early farm, early items. And I think we may just see Sing Sing on the mid Brewmaster, since he's kind of one of the core members. As far as I don't think you want maybe your stand-ins playing, not just whether
10
they're worse or
seconds
good
remaining.
good or bad stand-ins, whatever it may be. It's
Yeah.
just he's the one with the team synergy, and
5
I think
seconds
Brewmaster's the
remaining.
more important hero in this draft.
Assassin.
it's a
Oh.
very
The
wow.
TA comes back.
There it is.
Look, man, it's a good way to end the day. Now 6
We got a
games.
couple of signature heroes here on the side of Navi, looking pretty strong, and it's going to be all on Team Tinker to be able to kind of bring this one back after they did lose earlier. They were sitting at the top of the charts here for the Summit 2 Europe, sporting a
Prepare for
very
battle.
nice 6-1 record. They recently did fall, of course, to Compass Gaming, now sporting a 6-2. And Navi are beginning to creep themselves back up to the top of the list. They're currently 4-1, but a win here would put them right into that top 4 position and comfortably into playoff contention. So something they definitely want to get a hold of, and with the advantage of 2 stand-ins being on the side of Team Tinker, I'd have to imagine that even though the odds seem down the middle as far as Dota 2 Lounge, I think that on paper Navi have the upper hand in this one.
Yeah, I think Navi have got a pretty strong Navi draft. They've definitely drafted to their players' strengths when you've got Havost on Gyro, Dendi TA.
Yeah.
You've got the Treant Protector as well coming out. This is just an all-around classic Navi draft. So I think from that sense, they're definitely given the edge here. And the 50-50 odds that we saw in Dota 2 Lounge, probably not quite accurate considering the 2 standards.
Yeah, of course. Now, the last time I got to the pleasure of witnessing Dendi play this mid lane TA, it was just a clinic. It was an absolute clinic, and he brought in near 46 denies. I can't remember if it was the record or top 2 for most denies on a Templar Assassin in a game of Pro Dota, but it was absolutely out of control. He took so much away from what I believe was the enemy Death Prophet, and it was really the beneficiary. It allowed them to secure a great win. Actually, it was over. They played Alliance that game, and they just crushed them. Anyways, back at this one, we'll go ahead and roll through as we get into the final matchup here for day number 13. I'll lead things off with your radiant introduction. It's going to be Team Navi, Dendi, playing, of course, that mid lane Templar Assassin I was just talking about. It's going to be FNG playing one of his favorite heroes here, the Treant Protector. Up in the off lane, we got Funnick playing the Tide Hunter. On the bottom, we're going to have Vanscore playing that Rubik, and that, of course, will leave Havost on the Gyrocopter. Look at him duck and dive with that haste rune, blocking these creeps significantly, but not quite enough.
Well, for the Dire side, we are going to have Pycat on the Jakiro this time around, so not playing the carry for the team. He's at bottom lane. Going to be supported by Bulba, so we get that Earthshaker Jakiro dual lane. Mid will be Sing Sing on the Brewmaster against Dendi's TA. Going for the clap early, so no early Drunken Haze or Drunken Brawler to help with the last hitting, and that leaves top lane the support Vengeful Spirit played by Bankfish. He's going to be supporting the other stand-in, which is a Chroma on the Slack. So, Chroma, don't know too much about him. He's friends with a few of these pro players, so I think he's just one of those kind of pub star players who's pretty high up there on the leaderboards probably, and got some really good individual skill.
Just like Bankster, I'm sure they have a fair amount of synergy just kind of pubbing together and making it work and making the right plays. They leave both stand-ins like, you guys take the top lane and just don't disappoint us, okay? Make sure you get your job done going against Funnick's Tide Hunter here.
It's a pretty big ask to be like, hey guys, come even if you are like these guys, if you're playing matchmaking, you verse these pro players all the time, but to ask to stand in a competitive game against Navi, like that's a lot of pressure.
And I'm sure, and stand-ins know these games are streamed live in front of a lot of people. You want to make a big impact and a name for yourself for a player, an individual who's not behind a lot. But
could matter a lot for Tinker as far as qualifying into the playoffs go. They were 4-1 at the start of today, but they lost earlier, and another loss. Suddenly they've got 3 losses, and playoffs no longer a sure thing as they were looking at the start of today.
Those teams that have yet to bring in a lot of games, they start bringing in wins, and then you have tiebreakers, and if things fall short in those tiebreakers, Tinker's not even going to be involved in the playoffs. Now, it's a bit drastic to say for now, but, we'll see as Funnick asserting himself in that lane, only going against 2 as opposed to the usual try that he has troubles with in a Skywrath Mage. He can gladly be very assertive here and trying to control this side pull camp. Dendi does pick up the Invis Root, goes back towards that mid lane, and that leaves Sing Sing to kind of venture off towards the bottom where he's not going to find anything, as just a FNG tree is there to greet him and say, hey, there's nothing here for you, but turn around.
Yeah.
Turn around.
Sing's boots are coming out, so he'll probably bottle Crow once, just to make up for the fact that he didn't get any of the 2-minute runes, and he'll be okay. But as far as the laning stage goes, it feels like Navi are going to be a bit more comfortable all in all. Like Havost is getting the free farm he needs to at the bottom lane. The supports aren't able to find kills on Navi's side, but they're getting great pulls, they're getting double pulls, they're getting experience, they're getting some farm even, so they can get the fast boots on both their supports if they want to, and I think all in all, Navi getting a bit more out of the laning stage.
I mean, Havost is king of CS right now in his Gyro. He has plenty of space to bring in all the farm. His supports are doing a fantastic job just working with the creeps, pulling them all the way back. Funnick is getting a lot out of his offlane.
More CS than the Slack.
He's 12-3.
Okay, not anymore, but for a second he was over.
But that's fantastic for your sole offlane Tide Hunter. He's just got no threat whatsoever. He's like, who are these guys? Who are these stand-ins? Whatever, I'll just go ahead and just take control of this lane, no problem. And he's just going to quickly build in the farm. He could go right for his arcanes here in just about 100 gold. So he's off to a fantastic start. Dendi bringing in those denies at 16-9 in the mid lane in comparison to Sing's 13-0 Brew, who is very low on life with his last tango used. Now gets his bottle back and is able to bottle himself back up, but Dendi's just kind of letting it all out on the CS.
Yeah, 4-minute rune going to be important for both the two mid laners. And, Dendi's going to be hoping for like one of those high impact haste or DD type runes to just win this lane even harder. Sing, he doesn't care about the rune, he just wants to refill his bottle. So we'll see if Navi once again control both runes. FNG's headed bottom and Dendi should be heading top, and I don't think Sing Sing's getting a rune once more.
Nope. It's going to regen that's actually going to pop up on the bottom. That leaves just a bounty there for Dendi, so not that ideal rune for him to take control of the lane, but probably better for Sing Sing at this point, who's not going to have any more bottles. So I imagine Dendi comes back, he's going to start putting out some early heavy harassment so that he's going to be forced to have to bottle once more, as that courier is going to be spread real thin on this side of Team Tinker.
Yeah. Sing in theory can be bottle crowing, but like the crew was at use bottom. It's headed mid now, so actually there it's going to head mid with Pyket's Ring of Regen, so may have to head bottom first to give him his Tranquil boost. But
look how low Slark is. He's just getting manhandled in this off lane. Funnick is bringing it in now above him at 19-4 CS. This is a fantastic start for your off lane time. Look at this, just does not care. Continues to run on through. He's just bullying him back. He's actually considering a pursuit here on the Bangfish. And
yeah, Bangfish is...
Come here, you. What do you think you're doing? I'm Navi's Funnick.
You got to stun.
Who are you? Oh, Anchor Smash not going to catch this time. And now with rotations, this is lots of time. Now maybe Funnick's like, uh-oh, maybe I did go in too far. And now he's in trouble. They pounce on him. And with Bulba here, they commit a lot for it, but they might be able to secure a first blood bonus. No! He takes down Vengeful
Ravage!
Spirit.
He can Ravage a Chroma!
Ravage! Ah! He gets it off! He takes down another! A double kill! Can he get at least one more Anchor Smash at the end? He cannot.
What a bloody disaster! Mid lane meanwhile, Sing Sing's going down to the Treant gank, and oh, Tinker.
Cannot protect itself.
Wow.
That's why
Funnick just knows the right time to commit. He goes in there. It looks like it was just going to be ultimately him down, but Vengeful gets still caught in a corner in a tree, and he just unloads on her. And with that kill, pushes him into level 6. He pops his Ravage with plenty of mana to spare, and my oh my, that gets ugly real quick. And what looked like a promising first blood attempt for Team Tinker quickly even gets better for Funnick on that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what item Slack's going for, but picking up this Glove of Haste doesn't really do him much. You're better off going for the Belt Thirst, or if you're going for the Treads, if he's going for a Midas, like, it's just maybe a bit too greedy this game, so...
So, by my count, that is 3 lanes that Navi is taking over.
Pycat, not going to get it.
No. Ooh, Magic Carpet Ride. This courier is able to fly himself safely away.
I was about to say, you micro that courier. There's some confusion.
They still want it. He's and Pycat still does. He's certainly on the hunt for it, but can't quite get a hold of it. The Dual Breath now coming out on Vanscore, who's probably busy microing that courier. Might get caught out from behind, and Bulba's on the hunt with no more mana to really dish on out. He might be able to make it safe. The Living Armor comes in, and Rubik's going to be fine. Okay. A hot pursuit, but Team Tinker don't get a hold of anyone. Navi still coming out very, very well here. Havos still head of CS, 49-2, his net worth. Just behind that of Dendi, who profited from that mid lane takedown, has that 3,300. So him taking control of mid. Obviously Funnick getting a lot done in top lane. Havos, king of CS on bottom. Navi have a firm grasp on this early game.
Yeah, and Funnick went for the early earn. I think just he figures he could probably get a really good blink timing, even without going for it first item, so he can get something like the earn, which can help out his team a lot in other areas. So, as far as Navi is concerned, with how well Funnick and Dendi are doing, it's fantastic. And then Havost as well, like he's farming, he's getting the job done at bottom. He's getting a bit annoyed by the liquid fire and all that, but Pycat, once again, we're seeing this offlane Jakiro not really get too much farm, even with the dual lane.
Bowling the top lane. Funnick shoves Slark all the way back that he needs to get the assistance from Bulba's Fissure right there to stop him from pushing on in. Had he a Ravage ready to go, it could have been different, which he will here in 7 seconds, so he's going to feel even more comfortable about asserting his dominance here. He's got his Arcanes, he's got an Urn even, and about 1k gold invested towards that Blink Dagger. Still just continues to get better and better for him at the number 2 of net worth for an off-lane Tide, man. Can't give enough props as it is, but so what do we look at here for Team Tinker? What's going to be the game changer for them? If Sing Sing manages to throw together a Blink Dagger on his Brew, he can certainly set the pace for themselves in the mid game, but outside of that, it's clear Slark's not getting a whole lot done. Jakiro not getting a lot of damage in on this bottom tower just yet to try to bring in that extra income.
I think you're right about the brew. It's got to be the Blink Dagger, and he's not farming too well. His CS is not great. He's died once, so this Blink Dagger is going to be maybe 11, 12 minutes or so, which is okay, but not as good as you'd like.
The hidden ones
Certainly
grin.
not, and Dendy will continue to bring it in as he's at 26 denies. He just loves to deny on this TA, and in this recent patch where denies are much more valuable, it's that much harder for your opposing laner. I mean, Sing Sing is about 7.5 as far as levels go, and Dendy's at well over 8.5. So
Right.
he's
Dendy, even like back when denies didn't do much, was just out of habit. Always kept denying more than any other player. And something which now pays off in the current patch, I guess.
Sing Sing did go with the early level into Drunken Haze, so it's like a coin flip's chance as it is for Denny to get in that CS, but it's still constantly, the creeps are just in his favor, well and behind. Now Funnick still happy to press on forward. He's got this very nice obs ward over here, so he can see if there's any movement coming his way, so he feels pretty comfortable and
He's
clean.
picked up this helm too.
Getting farm, but yeah, he's
maybe rushing a Veil.
Dire's top tower is under
got
attack.
not the, and they're not really a magic damage lineup with TA and
the
Jara.
armlet carry tide. I heard about this. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Look, there used to be some people who would go armlet. It was more like a pub build, but it wasn't like a never seen item.
Mid lane, throw up, clap right into Rubik, and now Dendy.
Yeah, he bottles
sees,
up till he gets the split mana. I don't think. You see the TPs, you see the possible primal split, you want to get the hell out of there.
He backs up. One of those TPs will cancel. But,
good news for Singy.
Look who's chasing down Bulba. Pulls out the Ravage, secures the kill very easily. Is Funnick on your support Earthshaker. And he gets it done. After picking up that helm, he already has 1,100 gold.
And gets his first turn charges. That's often really important. Especially when you're an offlane hero and you don't have ganks coming your way. Getting
Sing Sing might be able to get his team another kill here. Very easy clap crit. And one more right click with a convenient DD rune. Secures him a kill on FNG.
Okay, and he's now got 200 short of his Blink Dagger, so he can farm a neutral camp or so and be well on his way.
Havos is going toe-to-toe here with Pycat. Pulls down the call down, and now, yeah, Dragon see you later.
Here comes Brewmaster, but Brewmaster's not going to be here in time. Havos TP's mid, he's out of there.
Right after buying his helm with a Dominator, he just pieces on out.
That's a smart TP too. He can immediately grab a creep, although I don't think he wants to grab Hellbears. If you want to stack Ancients, you're better off getting just a ranged normal creep.
Dire's top tower
I
is
think he's
under
gonna stack
attack.
this, though, and stack and farm, don't need to dominate anything just yet.
Dire's
He already has 2
structures
stacks
are
on the Ancient
fortified.
camp, so someone had started things off for him very nicely as he continues to bring in the pain. And, you know, Gyrocopter is one of those heroes that can fantastically
top
benefit a lot
tower
from
has
MKB
fallen.
as it is, so I imagine that's going to be in the near future. As for now, he's going to finish up what looks like the reliable Yasha kind of a grab, maybe go into a BKB at that point, but
Radiant's
nonetheless,
bottom
MKB to be able
tower
to
is under
handle
attack.
Brewmaster's pesky little evasion, I imagine, is on the agenda.
Here come Team Tinker for a tier 1 tower with the max liquid fire. This is, like, at some point Navi just are going to lose a tier 1 here or there and not have much to say about it. But that's fine. Like, he's got Dendy getting pretty farmed. I mean, all 3 of the
Radiant's
Navi cores are
bottom
getting
tower
farmed.
is under
Funnick
attack.
just still top lane. I don't
Radiant
care. He's about to have his
structures
Blink
are
Dagger now. I
fortified.
mean, if maybe just a good old reliable hat to have for a helmet, and then he'll go for the more important Blink Dagger. But
Yeah, it seems that way.
Dire's middle tower
It's not the
is
worst
under
item. As far as
Radiant's
cost
bottom
effectiveness
tower
goes,
has
it doubles
fallen.
your armor, it gives you HP regen. It's okay. It's kind of like a poor man's plate mail. Like you often see the casual plate mail. It's a similar
Yeah.
kind of thing.
all right, Dendy throws down the trap into the Roche pit to get that little bit of
Dire's
extra
middle
information.
tower is
And
under attack.
you might see Sing go in, pop illusions, quickly pop on out. They're not looking to engage that area quite yet, as him and Slark looking to creep in and see if they can get a hold
Dire's
of
middle
Vanscore,
tower
pushed
is
up well
under
in front
attack.
right now.
Vanscore's just
Yeah, he's pretty
solo chipping at this tier 2 tower.
pretty far out past his leash here. I don't know if he's hoping
Yeah.
to bait someone in back into the to their own
Dire's
woods
top
here, where
tower
Havost
is under
is
attack.
lingering about, but it's more Navi controlling. And actually, this stack is going to go to Dendy right now. So Dendy going to be able to bring this in. It looks like he's going to get a hold of his
Dire's
own
middle
Yasha.
tower is under
For
attack.
now, in the previous game where he was dominating pretty hard, he went straight for the Daedalus and damage. Didn't really care too much about going too much early survivability, but there's your Yasha now complete.
Yasha good value, and I don't think he upgrades this into anything anytime soon. It's going to be either Yasha Desolator or Yasha Daedalus, or if he really wants to be a bit safer, maybe the Yasha BKB.
Now Sing Sing, who does have that Blink Dagger,
Has not found anything with it though.
Not
Like he got
yet.
the one solo kill on Triumph, but that didn't have much to do with his blink. That was
No,
just a
just
DD rune,
yeah,
clap, right
convenience.
click.
kind of handed over to him more or less, but just a support takedown is not going to be enough for him to try to take this game back at this point. Puts it use in the meantime. He blinks into the creep wave, but so does Funnick. He comes right in with his new fresh blink dagger, pops the anchor smash, and man, you gotta love a Tidehunter against the Brew as well. It's just so freaking good. That anchor smash, if you catch it off early on a Brew before it splits, all the bears have reduced damage as well. Out of control.
Yeah, it's annoying stuff.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
For Tinker, they've got this blink. We talked about it being one of the comeback mechanics. Hasn't worked out well. The next item they're going to be getting is probably the Gules on Pycat, which is a decent setup as far as when you want to try initiate in on targets, but it's not going to solve all their problems. They can burst down people like Dendy on the TA. Like, you use Ice Path, you've got a lot of damage, tick damage coming out from Macropyre, among other things, so it's still doable for Tinker as far as this game's concerned.
Yeah. Dendy always finding the farm, and just like last time, man. Dendy and Havos, just continuation of farm. The other three are doing fine, just kind of creating a bit of space. Funnick is constantly adding threat to the side lanes as he continues to make a move here on top. They have their TPs available if they need to rotate, but while Team Tinker are just kind of moving as a group, just trying to decide where they can make something happen, Sing Sing desperate to try to find a kill with his Blink Dagger. Navi are just fine waiting and farming up to a pinnacle point where they can kind of just take over the game in one fell swoop. So, I don't know. I feel like pressure just continues to build up here for Team Tinker even as the game progresses.
And I think it favors Navi the way their decision to play this farming style. But mid lane though, and wrong side of the fissure. I don't know if they had the damage anyways. They need the Jakiro with like Ice Path Macropyre to get that kill. But as far as the pace of this game, the one like high impact team fight controller in Brewmaster, he gets countered so hard by the physical damage which kills Primal Split Warriors, which is exactly what Gyrocopter and TA bring to the table.
Yep.
So put another damage item on these heroes, and suddenly this Primal Split is going to be pretty useless.
And TA does even good damage, that split amongst others. The Fade Bolt travels across all the brews. I mean, I already talked about Anchor Smash, Black Cannon goes all over the place, Ravage. I mean, they have team anti-brew pretty much thrown together.
know about this Roche, and it looks like Navi... Oh, no, Dendy's back in. He's undecided.
You're like, oh, well, maybe if I'm in there, let's make sure that someone's on the outside like Funnick with his Ravage ready to go and blink in case they do make a jump play. But there you go, Ice Path calls out. They will see that Roach has been eating a bit of damage, plus the wave.
Wave actually hits Dendy. But he's like, okay, this wave just hit Roshan. That's
couldn't block him in, as Sing Sing also makes the blink commitment. Uh-oh. Sing Sing. He's got 6 seconds before he can blink out. Are they going to get in there and get damage off? Uh-oh. Oh, faking out with the split. This is such timid play, even from Navi. They're like, I don't know if I should commit. This could be a trap. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. Is that an illusion? Yeah. Sure enough, though, he's right there, takes out the trap, and this is really awkward.
All right,
he blinks away. Wow.
Makes a decision. Banksor with Pounce, which is pretty handy as far as escaping goes. I don't think Rubik wants to be kind of initiating in first. So.
Vengeful is not even 6 yet, so it's not like she even has Swap to kind of help out.
I kind of forgot there was a Vengeful in this game, to be honest.
Oh, well, we'll see. Potential engagement. Funnick getting caught in the middle of a fight. They now make moves on Sing Sing, but they can't burst him down and silence him enough to stop him from getting the split off. So split's there, but Dendy already takes down one. He takes down two. And the third one is going to fall shortly after. And, well, Gyro's been in the air in the meantime, and they're just like, perfect. Sing ends up falling. We'll just move into the Roche pit and finish what we started.
They could have killed Sing with the Ravage there before ulti, but they said, hey, no, we don't need to do so. They used the Treant ultimate instead on the Primal Split, which is a much less important ultimate. The Ravage is kind of here to help secure the Roshan, which is exactly what it does. And Tinker not really finding any sort of a trade. Pycat was getting a bit of farm at the bottom lane, finishes off his Yule Scepter, but this is a very late Yule Scepter.
Just like their last game, unfortunately. It's just, the rhythm seems to be a little bit off right now for Team Tinker, and they just don't really match up as far as how the farm comes. And now taking an overall look at the draft thrown together.
Bulba just level 4 as well.
These supports, they're broke as a joke right now. Luckily, he has Arcane Boots to kind of dish out some excessive spell spammage so he can at least find some farm with the creeps, but even these ghosts are just not coming down as easy as he'd like.
He leaves it there. He's like,
dag, the farm is just not going to be there, as it looks like he might have to reserve a bit. Maybe they're considering a go on Funnick here, but the second he sees him, blinks out, see ya. Not going to be caught out by any sort of very slow ice path.
Could have used the Yules to
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't think they'd kill him. He had Ravage.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
More than even those three heroes cannot kill him. Oshake at level 4, Jakiro, no. They'd need a fourth hero.
What is he going for now? I'm looking over at him. He's got a Void Stone here. So a Void Stone, a Helmet Iron Will. He's got a little bit of everything.
I think straight Refresher is what he's thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Is my guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. I want to know what he's going to do with his helm, though. I want an armlet. Why not, right? But looking to creep in from behind is Sing. This time they're persistent. They want to take down this pesky Tidehunter who is now planting himself in the corner. Noticing that there's a lot missing from the map. From their perspective, they do not see a lot of Team Tinker, so they're waiting to get a hold of a little bit of extra intel. I mean, they have these aggressive wards on the other side so they can see if there's any movement on the first part of the jungle, but not seeing anyone even there. Kind of raises an eyebrow as far as what the hell's actually happening. So instead, they move as a group, and they're going to head right towards this top lane with Havos leading out the front. He has that Aegis, and they're ready to put it to use. And quickly, you're going to see the pounce retreat here of Slark to get away. But they ping him out. I don't think they'll catch up, however.
Havos and Dendi just like mimicking each other's items. One goes for the Asher, the other does. One goes for the BKB, the other does. So 2 Mithril Hammers sitting on the Courier, 1 Dendi's, 1 Havos, and
2 for 1 special.
Both. Actually, no, Dendi's going for the Death Slider. What am I talking about? He's got the second Mithril. So I like this more from Dendi.
Yeah.
He needs to go. He can go pure like single target offensive DPS.
You saw how good it was even against the Brew without the Death Soul. I mean, that's just being able to quickly burst down the bears like nothing.
This tier 2 cannot be defended.
Yeah. Slark was still lingering about, but they're not going to get a hold of him. Instead, they turn their attention towards that tier 2. Team Tinker desperately trying to push the wave on bottom, so at least they can do some damage on this own tier 2, but it's going to fall so quick on top lane that if they want, they can pull back for a nice defense. And we'll see if that's going to be the case. First, they're going to hide under the shadow of the fog in their own jungle. And now you're going to see the first TP come in. It's Vanscore moving forward, but here we go. TP after TP, and unfortunately for Pycat, he might be the man left behind, and he's trying to keep them away from the rest, so he dives straight past towards enemy territory. Knows that means he's going to have to potentially sacrifice himself. Tries to go for the TP, and actually makes it out, it looks like. No, he doesn't make it out. He ends up falling right there, and same goes for Bulba. So trying to create a bit of space for their precious cores to go. Meanwhile, those cores making a jump in on Havos mid lane. Still has that Aegis. It's up and alive here. Could expire any moment. It's been up there for quite a while, but there it is.
I think it's worth it if they get this kill especially. Back up on the way, but it looks like it's going to be too far. Havos still alive with the living armor.
The Cyclone.
The Fire Panda. That's not
here they go. Bears starting to fall one after one. Dendi. Huge right-click damage as he comes in with that fresh and new Desolator. Boom! Big slam on Bakefish. And Bulba returns with a nice echo and manages to finish off Havos. But look like that, the 4-man takedown, and Team Tinker are done. Clearly need a bit more rest, a bit more rejuvenation so they can come back into fighting shape.
It was just a bit too much. And Navi pull out a classic Navi draft and just good execution. They didn't do anything special, I feel. Like, they laned it the obvious way. The supports didn't do any crazy smoke ganks. They just pulled, farmed, and I mean, the only thing that really went as it shouldn't was the top lane with Funnick. He should not have done as well as he should have.
God, he got everything.
That 1v4 double kill, that was just disaster. Like, there was just nothing. From there on, it was just everything fell apart.
It worked out perfectly. All three lanes from start to finish in their control, and they got it done. Not much more needs to be said about it, as now Navi, in much better position, move up to a nice 5-1 record, which actually puts them side by side with Team Secret in that 3rd place spot. And for Team Tinker, who started off the day 6-1 at the top position, now fall down to 6-3.
That's
and being side by side with Power Rangers for the top position.
They still have 2 more games left, so worst case they end up 6-5, which may put them out of the top 4. So
and who do they have to play? I mean, they still have to play Cloud9, which is a good Empire.
Oh gosh, that's rough.
So it's not like they have the easiest path ahead of them. They still got a lot of work to do. And
I'd say they need to win one of those 2 games to be top 4, but if they lose both, it could be tough.
Could be in tiebreaker situation. Nobody wants that. So with that said,
they have time to rest, get back in form, and
which they desperately need. I mean,
hopefully come out guns blazing when they verse those 2 teams.
I'm sure they will. But Navi, happy to benefit, looking sharp as ever, pull off their own win, and that's going to wrap things up for today. We had 6 best-of-1 matchups for you. We'll be back tomorrow for more Summit European action. You said we have 7 games.
7 games of Europe tomorrow. Hell's yeah.
Fantastic.
We have some good SEA as well. I think there's like 6 SEA games as well tonight. So.
There's a lot of Dota coming, and everyone I think is going to be back in the house by today. So
maybe already here. We don't really know.
Yeah, the full BTS force is going to be back and ready to bring you the action. And if you want to find out and support more about us, catch me on my Twitter at CoddleGuy. Catch this guy over on BTS Gods on his Twitter. A pleasure as always, folks. We'll be back tomorrow for more Summit 2 by G2A.com. European action later tonight. You'll see the C Dota come on out, so we expect you to come by and show your support. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.